Hey everyone, I'm Abigail Dube,
I'm Genia.
and you're listening to Knockout Origins.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of KO Origins. Today we have a superstar with us, Sara. Oh my god, I already forgot how to say your last name.
Haghighat-Joo, I'll help you out.
Haghighat-Joo, thank you.
There you go. No problem.
Yeah, anyways, we're super stoked to have you with us. And like I said, you're like the first person that I was like, so if we could have her on, I would so be like ecstatic to have on. So
Yay!
welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So I guess, how did you first discover boxing, or like how were you first interested?
So throughout all of school, growing up, I always did just school sports, team sports. So volleyball, basketball, rugby, all that. And I played basketball for about 8 years of my life and loved it. Thought I was going to be a superstar, even though I knew deep down it wasn't going to happen. Obviously played point guard and absolutely loved it. And then coming into my last 2 years of high school, the coach changed over, and from playing 40 minutes a game, I went to playing literally nothing, and she was benching me like crazy. And I was like, what the heck is happening? Like, this is my last 2 years. Like, this is when I should be playing the most, right? As a junior, I played on the senior team. Like, that's how good like they thought I was or whatever, and they always played me. So anyway, she coaches switched over, and she was just like, I just want to give like juniors a chance, and this year like you might be like benched more. And I was just like, no, like I can't do this. It's like I can't play a whole year or go through a whole year of high school sitting on the freaking bench. So I went home, cried my eyes out. My parents were like, what the heck, Sarah? Like, it's gonna be okay. And I was like, no, what do I do? And they're like, well, your brother is in boxing, so why don't you just go to the boxing gym and train there? And I was just like, I don't want to box. Like, I don't want to fight. And they're like, we don't have to fight. Why don't you just train? And I was just like, okay, because I am competitive, and I didn't want to train or work out on my own. I didn't like that idea. Even as a 16-year-old, I was just like, I need to be in a sport to work out, because it's just more fun that way. So I went to the boxing gym, picked it up pretty quickly, because growing up I had always seen my brother in combat sport. My dad was a wrestler. So tried that, and I absolutely loved the training. And within 6 months I was ready to have a fight, and I was like, what the heck? Like, what is this? Like, I never meant to. I was just doing this as a workout. My coach was like, no, you're ready. And I was like, okay. I didn't think anything of it. And I didn't know I was being entered in a tournament. And so he put me in a tournament, BC Golden Gloves, because I'm from British Columbia. And in a youth division, because I'm 16 years old, whatever, as a novice. So I entered in, and the first day, it was point system back then. I won 40 points to 12. So they should have stopped the fight. Like, I was just demolishing the girl.
Like, not even tooting your own horn there. Like, it's just a fact.
At the end of the fight, they're like, yeah, you won. I was like, oh, that was really fun. Like, and it went by so quickly, 2-minute rounds and everything. And then the next day, he's like, do you want to fight again? And I was like, yeah, this is awesome. So he put me in a senior division. So as a 16-year-old, I fought a 24-year-old girl who had like a bit more experience than I do, maybe a few more fights than I did. This was only my second day of fighting, second fight ever. Beat her as well, and I won the whole tournament and whatever. And I was just like, holy, like, having that hand raised and everything at the end, I was like, I'm really good at this. All the pressure's on me. Like, this is clearly what was meant to happen. Like, I wanted to continue basketball. I loved that and everything, but I was meant to be a boxer. So then I just continued on from there. So since 16 years of age, I've been doing this. Now I'm 25. So
I'm still young.
So young. And it was just like little goals that I set for myself, where I was like, okay, well, I want to get to 10 fights, and now I want to get to 20 fights. Now I want to be, provincial champion. Now I want to be national champion. Now and I want to go international, so it was just little by little. Like, I never thought I'm going to be an Olympian or, like nothing like that. So, and I've just stuck it out since then.
Aw.
That's amazing.
That's a little background.
Right. Well, you kind of touched on this already, but it seemed like your parents were like already pretty on board with boxing, which is
Yeah.
super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know for
I think
me.
it just being in my family, that's probably why, because my brother was doing it, my dad was in combat. I think that's why.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I know you're different where
Super
your mom is
interesting.
like,
Yeah, other perspective. I think that's where I was like super I guess where a lot of my hesitation comes from, right? Because it's like, oh, you're gonna get hurt, like you need to like protect yourself at all times. So
right.
it's interesting to see that like other parents are like, no, go for it, like yeah, just try it.
My parents are pretty funny. Like my mom is super competitive, and she's like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, no matter what injury or whatever, it doesn't matter, just win. I'm like, thanks, mom.
Oh.
Great.
Get the first place. Yeah.
She's like, you could cry about it later. I was like, wow, okay. So
intense.
Yeah, definitely very, very opposite. Yeah. So, but that's in me too, where I'm just like, I don't care what happens in this fight. Like I'm gonna do whatever it takes to win. So
which is kind of nice. Yeah. Well,
I don't have that fear in the back of my head, and
I think it's like for the hesitant of us, like we need to take that out almost. It's like the extra mental part that you need to work on, that
100%.
It's nice not to have.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But also like starting out, like I never felt pressured in any way when I was boxing. Like when I first had my fight, it was within 2-3 days I knew about it. I didn't have weeks to dwell on it. I didn't have, I just used just like, I'm entering you in, and I was like, cool. Like
okay.
I didn't have a chance to get nervous or anything.
Yeah.
So
no turning back at that point.
Exactly. And like when I first started sparring, what a lot of people don't know is my first time ever setting foot in the ring, I got knocked out cold on the ropes. Like I was out. And
oh my God.
So the girl who was way more experienced than me, I thought I was going into it, being like kind of nurtured in there, but no, she didn't. Like I hit her, I guess, with like a good I hit her with a good right hand or something,
like
and she went ballistic. I'm a novice. I don't know what I'm doing. And so she went nuts on me, put me out, and my parents thought, oh God, this is the end of Sarah. Like she's not gonna go back. That night I was throwing up. Like I was concussed bad.
Oh my God.
But all I thought was, there's no way. Like I'm going back to the gym. The next day I went back. Obviously I didn't spar for a few weeks because I had a concussion. But until like the last day when I was leaving that gym, I was like, I'm gonna make sure I get the better of this girl. And I did. So like that was like my goal. It didn't turn me off.
Yeah.
Like, that's what my parents were a little bit afraid of. Like, oh, this is the end of it. And it wasn't. Like that's, man, maybe because my start was so bad that I didn't think a fight would be like that. This girl was, way bigger than me, way stronger than me, way more experienced, and like she should have never done that. And like we didn't have proper supervision or anything. I just went in there and she just put me out. Okay.
All right. Yeah, the worst case scenario of any possible, and you start out with that and you're like, all good.
The rest is easy.
Yeah,
exactly. So
well, I mean, at least you definitely make it look super easy. So just
all the training, man. And again, it does come down to mental as well. Like when I step foot in the ring, it's not, oh, like what if I lose? It's how bad I want to win, like I see it as a positive. Like, Sarah, how bad do you want to win? It's not, frick, I really don't want to lose. I don't look at it like that.
Right.
So
it's changing it for the positive. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Take it out a little.
What's your mindset like when you don't win a fight? Like, are you okay with failure, or do you up about
it? I'm not okay with it. I've actually, it's so bad, but I've related it to like a death in the family happening. Like I hate losing, and it's so bad. And at the end of the day, whether you win or lose, like what's going to happen? You continue on with life. It's not like I'm doing this for money. It's not like there's so much on the line, but I just hate losing. So
Yeah.
I always tell people like it's not the end of the world, but for me, though, it's the end of the world. Like I
Yeah.
grieve for weeks about it.
Oh.
I don't take it well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, I mean, it's important to you though, right? And you enjoy it, so of course, like
Yeah.
it's a process, like
But
anything
yeah,
else.
exactly. But I mean, if you look at the bigger picture, it's honest. Like, what's the big deal if you do lose? There
Yeah.
is no big deal, right?
Yeah.
So, anyone
Sure.
starting out, I always tell them like, don't worry about it. You're gonna continue on with life as you would whether you had won or lost. So
Yeah. It's putting it in the perspective, I guess.
yeah. But no, I don't like losing.
Yeah. I don't blame you.
I understand. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
really competitive too. My family was all really like we're all kind of competitive. We're all in
Yeah.
karate, and
Yeah.
so that competition is hard. I used to have a hard time with losing too. Like it was just like it's like but I eventually kind of like got over it to the point where it's like, okay, it's okay. Like no matter what happens, it's okay. And then I was eventually able to deal with it a lot better. Like, and now I'm kind of like, fine. It's like, I'm just having fun. I'm doing it because I love it. I'm having fun with it no matter what it is. But yeah, I used to be super competitive with everything.
Yeah. And it does motivate you more, I think, in the gym and your training when you do lose. So in a way, it is a good thing. So, you know, like if you're winning, you kind of get it into routine where it's just like, do I need to actually do that run, or you know what? I'm not at the highest pedestal. Maybe I don't need to. So
push
it
that
kind
extra
of,
mile.
Yeah. So anytime I have lost, I'm like, oh, okay, reel it back. You know, back to the basics, back to this, back to that, to get back to that winning spot. So
really like what happened there.
Analyzing it, trying to figure out, you know, what went wrong, what can you fix, what can you do better.
Yeah. I mean, we touched on it a little bit, but yeah, why boxing? I guess, like, what about it interested you the most?
I think the fact that it is individual, because I did all these team sports, and it's always like, okay, well, I'm pulling my leg, but they aren't. You know, I'm training so hard, and they aren't, and it was frustrating. So and it's like I'm up at 6, 7 in the morning shooting hoops, and nobody else is. It's like at the end of the day, like basketball is a team sport. You can't like do it all on my own. So with boxing, it's you can do it all on your own. It's you and your like coach obviously as well, but at the end of the day when you're in the ring, it's just you. When your hand is raised, it's just your hand being raised, you know. So that's why I love the individuality of it.
Same. I like that too.
And we kind of mentioned this before as well. I guess you didn't always know you wanted to compete. Your main goal was just to like train.
And my brother was really competitive, and in the beginning he's like, why are you at my gym? We're only 14 months apart, so he's like, why are you at my gym? Why are you doing my sport? And I was like, well, I think you're jealous because I'm a bit better, aren't I? So like he was ahead of me, and like that he was competing provincially and nationally, internationally, and he's like, well, you're not on the provincial team. And I was like, well, you know what, I'll show you. I got on the provincial team. He's like, you're not on the national team. I was like, well, you know what, I'll show you. I'll get on the national team. And you know, so I was always like, I'm coming. Like it's like the tortoise and the hare. Like I'm slowly
be prepared.
making my way.
Exactly.
So I think just that, having that in our family, that helps me as well. Just having him constantly like pushing buttons of you're not doing this, and you're not doing this. Oh well, now I'll have to do that, you know. So
trust me, I'll show you. It sounds like Genia too, honestly.
That's how I got into tournaments for karate too. My sister brought me some trophies, and I'm like, okay, I want a trophy too.
I like shiny things.
I like shiny things. I'm gonna go try this tournament thing too. So that competition is always fun. It helps.
And now it's like almost like a drug. Like when you get in there, like I can't really explain the feeling until you do it yourself. But it's just like that adrenaline rush and everything. You won't get it unless you fight. You know, you don't get it in sparring, you don't get it in any other way. And it's like, I love that feeling. I love the nerves that to building up to it. And like, it's a love-hate. You hate it, but you also really crave it. So, yeah.
That's funny. I was just going to ask you if you enjoy competing, because a lot of times, there can be the nerves or the excitement or like just uncontrollable factors. And it's like, do you enjoy that, or do you like wish you could change it?
Every time I haven't gotten nervous is when a fight hasn't gone well. Like it's maybe I'm too confident or whatever. So I love getting nervous. I love the butterflies in the stomach, because it just means you care. You know, it means that you're alert, that you know, you're going into a ring, punches are coming at you, you're throwing punches back, you know. So I love that, and I know that it just like keeps me aware and honest. So
yeah, I mean, that was the thing, was like for a long time I'm like, oh my god, I can't compete because I still feel nervous, you know. I still feel feelings, like it just, all these people when they go up there, they seem so like stoic and they're so put together. I'm like, there's no way I could be that person. And then talking just with people at TNT, I think was amazing, because everyone's like, no, I still feel like I'm going to throw up before a fight, or like, no, I still feel like this. And they're doing an amazing job. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe I can do it. There's still people too. So
people have told me like after 50 fights, your nerves will go away, or after 100, your nerves. I have 115 fights and I still get nervous as hell and sick as hell. It doesn't matter. Like, even if I've beaten that opponent 5-6 times, I still get nervous, you know, because I care. I want to do well. I want to perform well, you know. So they never go away, but you just learn how to channel them. So every time I fought hometown at TNT, super nervous because everyone I know was there, but I loved it. I also love that feeling. I love it when people come watch me. So no, it never goes away. If anything, it gets worse, but you just learn how to channel it.
Direct it a little bit better.
Like in the beginning when I first started, I had zero nerves, and then now because the pressure is just on, like people expect things from you, I think that's why I feel more nervous than ever.
Like,
well, Sara has to win. It's like, no, I can have a bad day too.
Hell yeah.
I'm human. You know? So
haven't found a way to create a robot version of yourself yet, so
not yet.
I think that was like the biggest realization of changing gyms for me, was like, oh, you can still be human and like go into the fight having feelings. I don't know why, but it was like always taught to me that like, oh, you can't feel anything before the fight, or like you're not ready kind of thing. I don't know how that got ingrained in my head, or it was just the people around, but it was just like very much like, you have to be all like tough guy or girl all the time, and just it was exhausting, man.
And everyone's different. Some people like being stone cold, some people like being jolly, you know, going to the ring. Like everyone's different. So I don't think you could tell someone like it has to be like this, or you know, like, you know, you're ready when it's like this. No, no, definitely not. Like I used to go into my own little bubble and not want to talk to anyone, and now it's just like I'm so relaxed, and like it just every time it changes, right? So there is no one way
to go about it.
Do you have any like pre-fight kind of like rituals, like anything that you always do before a fight that gets you ready, that prepares you?
I always like to buy something new. I don't know what it is. Whether it's like a headband or something that I can wear in the fight, whether it's like socks or whether like something. I always have to. I don't know. And I still have up until now. So it's so weird, but I have to do it.
Cool.
So whether it's socks, spandex shorts, a new sports bra, headband, like it doesn't matter. But it's something I'm wearing in there, feeling fresh, you know.
Confidence thing.
That's my thing.
Oh, I like that. And like I've always felt like shopping for some reason. It's like the retail therapy sometimes. It's like also calming.
Yeah, like I can't eat because I'm making weight. So like,
Yeah.
what's next on the list?
Yeah.
Because eating is after when you win.
Yeah.
Or when you lose and you need to cry and grieve
Yeah.
it out.
And I'm an
Piece of cake.
emotional eater too, so it's like
Yeah, whether it's happiness or sadness.
yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, that's something interesting that I've never really understood yet is like weight cutting or weight loss.
Yeah.
And I guess it's like a competitive feature. But I've never really understood like, okay, is there like a huge advantage to going down in size or down a weight class?
Well, it starts out with like, first of all, what are you walking around at naturally? And
Right.
then can you, like, if you're 5 pounds away, right? Can you lose that in a natural, like healthy way where you're not killing yourself? And do you think it'll affect you mentally, physically? Like all of that has to be put into play. I can fight literally at any weight class and it's not going to affect my performance and it's not going to affect me mentally or whatever.
Yeah.
Not everyone's the same. And I
Right.
think anyone who's starting out with their first fight, it doesn't matter what weight you fight at. Step on the scale, whatever you are, go to that closest weight class. Once it gets to the very competitive stages, yes, then be strategic about it. Like I usually walk around about 119, 120 pounds. I fight at 112 pounds. You know, when it comes closer to the time, I'm sitting around like 116. So 4 pounds away from my weight class.
Right.
I could easily move up and fight at 125, but I won't feel strong. I know the girls are bigger than me. I know they're stronger than me. So that's when it becomes more strategic.
Right.
Obviously in Canada or whatever, locally, I can do that. But once it goes internationally, all these girls are way taller, way bigger, way stronger. And they're cutting. I know that they're cutting from 130 plus pounds. So it's just not smart. So anytime I'm fighting at 112, I'm the strong big one, right? So because I'm cutting down whatever 8 pounds or whatever it is in a healthy way in the lead up to that fight.
Right.
So yeah.
I guess that's like the main point is doing it in a non-stressful way. And like if your body can naturally do that, because like again at the gym that I transferred from, a lot of people were cutting weight but they looked like sickly. Maybe it was just like bad timing before the fight, but like you could see like under eye circles and their body was like shaking, and I'm like, I'm nervous for you.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I've been in those positions myself where it's like I did it in a stupid way. I knew about the fight, I knew about the tournament, and I just wasn't smart about my food or training or whatever. And it's just like, okay, now it's crunch time. I have 2 weeks. I have to do like a big water cut or whatever.
Right.
I've been there too. But obviously anyone starting out, you have to be smart about it. You have to make sure that like this is a long-term thing. So you don't want to destroy your mental health and everything too that comes with all that. Yeah.
Especially after you've worked so hard to get it to a certain point and then you're like, okay, bye.
Yeah.
I feel like it's easier to lose than it is to gain it.
Yeah, definitely. In a healthy way anyway. It's like I can gain weight like that, but
oh yeah, me too.
Good weight? Probably not.
Yeah, I feel like for a long time, well, I haven't even started yet, right? But I'm like stressing out. And the expectation, I used to be 140, which for me being like 5'6", probably wasn't the best weight for me. But yeah, ever since switching gyms, I dropped 10 pounds easily just from the way we were training. And it feels like I've naturally sustained being 128, 130. I haven't really gained and I haven't really lost from there. So I'm not sure if like there's really much of a point to lose, 5 pounds, or like would it really be that beneficial? So
and it all, like, say you ramped up your training a bit more where you're maybe training 2 times a day, maybe you'll lose a little bit more weight, and then maybe you'll be at that 125 weight class, or maybe it's like, no, I feel really strong and healthy, I want to fight at 132. That's fine too. And again, because it's your first time, it's not going to make a big difference. There's no huge difference between 57 and 60 kilo at all. Right? You don't need to be strategic in any way about it. It's your first fight. It's the other girl's first fight. So
Yeah.
there's no advantages.
No.
Yeah.
Like just getting through the nerves in the first place is just a win already, honestly.
Yeah.
Just getting
And it's okay to even have an exhibition your first time in the ring where there's judges and there's an audience. Like, that's okay too. An exhibition is okay. Both are winners, but it's in front of a crowd. You still get the same nerves, and that's okay too. You know, you don't have to be thrown into that competition setting right away. You don't have to be thrown into a tournament right away, which I had no idea was happening.
I mean, you pulled it off like unbelievably, like beyond anyone ever expectation, but still.
Yeah. And it's funny, like after I won those 2 days, I had to open up. So that means I was no longer a novice. I wasn't allowed to be a novice because nobody wanted to fight me and I couldn't get fights. Everyone was like, no, you're so-and-so's. Yeah, you're the so-and-so's sister. You've done this forever. And I was like, I swear to God, I haven't.
I promise.
Nobody believed me. So typically after 10 fights, you're an open elite fighter. After 2 fights, I had to open up. Like, it was ridiculous. Wow. That's unheard of. Like, even if you really want to push the process, it's after 6 now that you can like get approved by the commission, whatever. It was like, no, after 2 fights, man, you're gonna have to fight anyone and anyone you can because you're not gonna get fights.
Jeez.
And that's why I went from British Columbia to Ontario, because I was fighting the same girls over and over again. Sparring wise, there wasn't many females, and Stevie actually saw me at a tournament at my first nationals, and he came up to me and he was like, wow, you're such a good boxer, like you just kind of move funny in the ring, but you're overall pretty good. And I was like, thanks, bud. I'm moving funny because I'm fighting on 2 fractured feet. I did not want to miss my first nationals. I was like, no matter what, I'm gonna do this competition. And he's like, yeah, I noticed you kind of move funny, but like you're so good, and you know, I can help you out. And I was like, who is this guy like talking to me? And I went back home. He messaged me again saying I was serious. So I flew over to Ontario for a 2-week camp with him. And after day 1, I was like, okay, yeah, this is the guy for me. Like at the gym, there were so many females to spar. I think there was like 12 girls that night. And I was like, this is the place to be. And I was already thinking Ontario, Quebec, I'm going to move because BC is not the place to do it. And ended up being Guelph, Ontario. So of all places. Not even Toronto, not Kitchener, no. Guelph. Where's Guelph?
Everyone is like, how do you even say it? It's like Guelph.
I know. My parents are Persian, so they're like Gulf. I'm like, no. Not golf.
No, sorry.
So
it's like, it's funny how like the littlest pockets have like the best kind of boxing regimens, and like I tried so many gyms in Toronto, just like one after the other, and it was like, maybe it was just not a good match, or maybe just the coaching style or what have you, but I was just like, I don't know, man, I really want to try this, but it was just like a disaster. Either no one taking me seriously or whatever. It was just
Stevie's also a pretty special individual. Like anyone who's ever come to him, they've never stopped coming to him, you know? Like people come from Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, all over the place to this guy, and it's just like there's a reason for that. Toronto, like everywhere, Niagara, myself from BC, like so anyone who's given him a chance or tried him out, they've always said the same thing, or it's just like he's your guy. There's not many Stevies out there.
No.
We're pretty blessed.
Feeling so frustrated because a lot of the coaches wanted me to transfer. They would teach me right-handed way for whatever reason, and I would have to, in the middle of learning a new sport, transfer everything to how I wanted to do it. And it was just feeling like literally like going through a grain or like just a shredder and trying to make things work. And I'm like, is it meant to be this difficult? Like just learn something. And finally someone who was like, who could do both just so fluidly. I was like, oh, thank God, just
and he's not like, with him, I really liked it where a lot of coaches, for me, I've been through everyone and anyone. Like I've tried every coach there is, and he was the only one where he didn't try to change my style. He took what I already knew or whatever, and he just made it better. You know, any flaws I have, he like almost tries to mask it and, you know, like hide it, and it's just like bring out what's the best of me. So that's really neat how he can do that.
Yeah, definitely.
So a good coach definitely matters for sure.
Yeah. I think for like a long time I was like, whether maybe it was just learning style or for whatever reason, a lot of the coaches here seem to have it like more of like, if you lose or don't do well in sparring, it's like a personal or like an ego thing. Like, not to like shit on people, but yeah, it seems more like it's about them than it is about, like, you, or like fixing what went wrong. And a lot of times be like, okay, like what did I do wrong, like let's analyze this, and they'd be like, you know, like, nah, let's push it off, or you could learn how to move or how to do this, but like it's not in my interest to teach you, you're not there yet, you know what I mean? Like, oh, okay,
crazy.
I'm not worthy enough to learn how to roll yet, even though that's just a basic defense, but which is just,
oh my god,
so many stories.
Yeah.
As I'm sure, you've probably worked with countless coaches too. Like, how have you had that? Was it like a pleasant experience or just like
because I went through so many, I was just like, okay, what he's saying I like, and what he's also saying I don't like, so I take the good and I leave out what I don't like, you know, like I was experienced that way. And like with my brother, he was helping me a lot, my dad was helping me a lot, so I had that. So it's very different for me than it would be for someone like you, because that's all you knew. You were going to that gym, you were paying the price, and it's just like, I'm not getting what I need out of this. So
and my god, I was like, but
well, now you've found the right home, so
that's right. I like that word.
There you go. Where like even sparring sessions, like we're all working with each other, we're not trying to kill one another. Like every time I'm in with you, or I'm with Daphne, who's a 13-year-old girl, I'm still learning, you know. It's not that I'm just letting her beat up on me. No, I'm working on things too. You could always take something. You know? It doesn't always have to be 110%, and just like how I started sparring and the girl went nuts at me. No, that's not right. Right? So I like how it's organized at our gym, you know. There's mutual respect in the ring. So
definitely. I feel like there's a chance for you to learn. And like always Steve is saying, like, there's not a chance for you to like get hurt. Like, we're trained to like just go kind of like match each other's pace. So if that's all someone can handle, awesome. But like if you show like that you can handle more, then obviously they're going to match that, which is so unique. Which again, my sparring experiences as well, I think for a long time why I was so anxious was because like it wasn't really supervised, and a lot of the times like it wasn't structured. So the way that he would just throw you in hard sparring all the time, and like even through just partner work and the way that we run doing technical things, you learn so much through that, and just slowing it down. It's like, why not throw those in and then build people up? Why does it always have to be like so intense, like all the time, like 150%? And
okay, so
were we
back
talking
to
about
you guys were talking about Stevie and the clubs.
Club.
Okay, we're recording.
Yes.
Okay, so but the best teams in the world, if you look at Russia, Kazakhstan, all of them, and I've been all over the place now, they drill partner drills. Partner drills. It's not even like proper sparring or anything like full on. Cuba's the same way. It's all about the partner drills, like getting it down perfectly. And then when you see them fight, they are so perfect because of that. You know? So I like how Stevie tries to bring that in a lot, and we do a lot of that. And I know like a lot of people sometimes like complain and they just want to spar. And it's just like, no, this is good for the long.
It's better for you.
Yeah,
it's actually
for your
much
brain,
better.
for your everything. Yeah.
Because I mean, I kind of see the point. It can be like, you know, like mentally you're prepping yourself for all this like stuff to go down, but at the same time it's like it's kind of nice just to work through proper habits or like technique of like getting your body used to like, okay, under pressure, what to do and like how to handle it.
And the more you practice that, the more it's going to come out in your fight in the ring. The way you shadow box, that's what you're going to end up doing in the ring. So if you're shadow boxing like a lunatic and throwing punches for the sake of throwing punches,
me for many times,
you end up doing fighting. Honestly, like it's all about muscle memory. So
and it's so true. It's like for a long time I'm like, no, like if I just see it, like I'll do it. Yeah, for sure. I'll be able to like know. But no, you gotta do it and do the painful things. Yeah. Even if it like feels slow to you. Well, I mean, did you have any fears or doubts when you first started, or was it just like, it seems like something that was just really natural for you?
Yeah, I think even just with the history of basketball, like the footwork, and watching my brother growing up, I had it down pretty easy. Like if you watch my first fight, I think my mom has now lost the footage of it, which is really sad. But it looks like someone who really knows what they're doing, and it looks like I'm not trying to talk highly about myself, but a girl with like 20 fights in there, you know, like it didn't look like my first time ever. It wasn't just a scrap. Like I was in there strategically fighting, and it definitely did come naturally to me just because of my background of sport and everything. Just working hard as well. I'm not naturally athletic or gifted or anything. I just work hard. I have that work ethic in me. So, and that usually goes further than being naturally athletic. You know, athletic people sometimes tend to take, you know, shortcuts and the easy way out and the lazy way. Whereas if you're not gifted in that certain way, you're going to try and do that same thing over and over and over again until you perfect it. So that's what I do.
Yeah, I really like that better than just being like, I was born this way and there's absolutely nothing you can do to
like
I mean,
my
some
first
parts
nationals,
I'm sure you were born
my
like
first
that,
nationals, I won after 4 attempts, you know. And when you lose your first time, it's not until 365 days you get to try again. And 365 days you got to go again and again. And I kept losing split decisions in the final. So literally by a hair,
just a little
by a hair. And it took until that 4th attempt where I finally won. And then once I won, it was winning, you know. So it took a lot of time, a lot of patience, you know. And if I had given up on the first try, I wouldn't be where I am now. Even if I had given up on 3 tries later, I wouldn't be where I am now. You know, I was just like, that motivated me. I was like, no, I'm going to go again. I'm going to go again. I'm going to go again. Right. So, and I finally got it. But everyone's just like, oh, you know, she's national champ, whatever. Yeah, it took me a long time and it wasn't easy, right?
I think that's like the point that a lot of people miss is like, well, Genia and I talk about this a lot, right? Like overnight successes were 10 years in the making, right? Of how like night in, night out of people like not noticing all the hard work, the diligence that they've done, or you even waking up every day like 6 a.m. Because it's something you're passionate about, right? So it's making sure.
And it was so easy just to say, you know, that's it, I'm done. I'm not making money doing this. I've put my education aside for now, you know, everything, my whole life. And it's just like, I've made boxing my life, and I've moved across the country for this, you know, like I'm gonna stick with it because I know I can, you know. I came here with a purpose. I'm gonna get to it.
Yeah.
And it didn't happen the way I wanted it to. I thought it was going to be some fairy tale, like I come here and within like 2 months I'm national champ. No, 4 years later, damn it. So
I know it's having like the expectation or the reality too of it, of being like you can still get there, but it like definitely happens differently for everybody. So
yeah, my parents, like I moved out at 19. My parents were like, "What are you doing? Like you're gonna have to continue your education." I was like, "Okay, fine. I'll transfer my university," and I did.
yeah.
And after I lost that first year, they're like, "Okay, so you're coming back now, right?" It's like, no, I didn't do what I said I was gonna do. I said I was going to get on that national team. I said I was going to travel international. Like that's my whole incentive. It didn't happen. I'm going to go again. It didn't happen the second year. It didn't happen the third year. And then 2017 comes around and finally we get there. But these things take time.
Yeah.
So.
And especially when like you look back at it, split decisions are so hard because it's like so close. And it's not even like you can say like, oh yeah, I'm really terrible at this. I lost by like 40 points. No, like you were that close, right? So
yeah. And like there was so many newspaper articles where everyone thought I won, and it was in Quebec actually, and I was fighting a French girl, and I was just like, wow, like Sarah got robbed. She should have won unanimously. The year I did win by split, the year I finally won by split was to that girl. I had lost to her 4 times by split decision. It was driving me crazy. I won the 5th one by split, and I honestly thought I lost.
Oh, jeez.
Boxing is so subjective. It's it's so weird how people judge it. Like I wouldn't be able to be a good judge. Like it's so hard. But I was just like, I won that one. Okay, whatever. I'll take it.
Yeah, happy.
This one I'll take. I'm not going to complain 5 times later.
No.
So. Yeah, but insane. It's like, why can't I? Like, and she was just the hurdle I had to get past. Then she retired, luckily. We're done with you.
Yeah.
Great girl. No hard feelings. It's not her fault. But yeah, glad she's gone.
To a shout out to this girl. So
thank you for retiring.
Yeah, bless. Anyways, yeah.
No, she kept me in the sport.
Yeah, I mean, she kept it interesting, right? For sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. She made my story.
Made it like yeah, it kept pushing. So
yeah, keep persevering and you'll get there.
Because like what would you, I mean, not to say winning is a bad thing, but like what would you have learned the first time around necessarily that you
exactly, and maybe I wouldn't have continued boxing. I don't know, so
what,
who knows, like had I gotten there so quickly, I don't know.
Right. Ollie,
what do you want? He wants to
oh
play.
Silly guy. Aw. He's like, you're not paying attention to me, like listen, lady.
What like tips or advice would you give to someone who's thinking about starting boxing?
To not overthink it, to just go for it, like don't waste time. Should I do it? Should I not do it? Just do it. What's the worst thing that can happen? You'll get fit, you'll get a good exercise, like
you'll definitely get a six-pack. Yeah. Like,
it's honestly a win-win. You'll meet people that you never thought you would have met.
Yeah.
So just don't hesitate and go for it. Yeah.
Have you ever
if it means just trying it as training, that's fine too. You don't have to fight, like you can just do the fitness aspect of it. You could just do the sparring part of it. You can just be a spectator of it if you wanted to, but get something
enjoyment of the sport. Yeah.
So
seriously, I never thought I would get abs in my life, and of course it has to be through a sport, right? Because otherwise I just lose focus, I lose interest. So
yeah, same. Yeah.
And it's kind of cool that like it was an after effect and not like, because I feel like if you just go into something to get abs, it's so much harder to climb that mountain. Whereas if you do it and have fun, it's like, it just kind of happened with it.
Yep.
Yeah. Bonus. Have you ever experienced any kind of like, not necessarily like harassment, but like different in treatment compared to like male fighters or male colleagues?
No, I don't think I can say I have.
Yeah.
Again, always had my brother around, talks together. They treated us the same. I would be mistaken for him sometimes. So, really stop. So no, I haven't ever gone through anything like that myself personally. So
yeah.
Interesting, because like I guess it just depends on the clubs, maybe where you go, who you train with. Some of the people, again, who I was training with at the time were just making me feel like, yeah, why are you here? Making me overthink what I wanted to do or what I wanted to accomplish. And at the end of the day, like, yeah, it wasn't worth it for me to stick around.
I think sometimes when people see that you kind of have like maybe lower confidence or something, they see you as a target and they're just like, oh, I'm gonna jump on that. Whereas like I carry myself pretty, high, and I don't let people walk around me like that, and I stand up for myself, and if that ever happened, then I'd put them in their spot. So maybe they're afraid of me.
Good. It's how they should be. Should know their place in the world.
There you go. Yeah. So personally, no, I haven't, but heck, if I ever saw someone do that to you, I would be on that.
I know.
Not okay.
I mean, even just sometimes being like in the crowds and being like spectator, sometimes the way like guys talk about some of the girls' matches or bouts, whatever the word for it is. And just hearing them mostly comment on like body or like, oh, that girl, like she's gonna lose because like she looks like a twig. Like, you don't know her. Like, you don't know how she's gonna fight or like her mind. Like, calm down, sir.
And it's just like, if you haven't stepped in the ring, if you haven't done it, please don't share your opinion. It really that bugs me as well, where everyone thinks they're a know-it-all. Or like the club shows I've had, people have come up to me and they're like, Guelph fans, they're supposed to be there supporting me, and they're like, well, you brought in a pretty crappy opponent. And it's just like, what the heck?
Excuse
they weren't crappy.
You?
Maybe I was just good.
So good that you made them look like garbage. Is that not a possibility?
Or like, if it is close and it is Sarah, like that could have gone either way. It's just like, I can't win. Like, everyone just always has an opinion. Thanks.
No one's ever like really that happy. Yeah, you know what? You can suck it, okay, hater. You can suck it.
I'd like to see you in there,
Yeah, against that same person. See how you do.
Yeah, honestly.
See if they're really that shitty.
How do you deal with those comments? Like, do you just ignore it and continue on with your day? Do you?
I honestly don't let it bother me, because there's so many out there, and you just kind of have to like smile and nod and just let them hear what they want to hear, because like you can't let that kind of stuff get to you. There's too many out there. There's too many opinions. It's just like there's nothing I can do. You think that, go ahead, but whatever. Like, whatever makes you sleep at night, go ahead. Come say that to me. It's not gonna bug me. You don't make or break me, so
that's good. That's a good way to think about it.
I think it took me like a long time to get there, because I didn't have like a boxing family or people like in combative sports, so it was already like, should I be here? And then people coming up to me and like kind of preying on that. But now I'm like, just try it. Like, we'll see.
Who's oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you go.
I was just gonna ask, like, who do you look up to in boxing? Like, who's your favorite boxer? Who inspires you?
That's always a funny question, because I don't have one person that I'm like, you're my role model. I look at everyone, I watch everyone, whether they're amateur, pro. So I can't really say like I follow in that person's, you know, path or journey. I want to be just like them. There's no one really. I'm just like, I want to be the best version of myself. I want to inspire others, and there's no one I'm like, yeah, they're awesome. Like I like everyone. I like female fighters like Katie Taylor. Obviously, everyone looks up to her because she's done so much for our sport.
Yeah.
But also the males, Andre Ward, I love. I like watching him and like how amazing his technique was all throughout his career. And so, yeah, I can't really say like there's one specific, like I try to watch every fighter, any fighter, you know. Even the amateurs now, I sit down and watch like a lot of the girls in my weight class, heavier, lighter, whatever. And you can always learn from anyone, even the girls at our own gym, the guys at our own gym, you know. So yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, really important perspective.
Yeah.
And actually kind of reminds me of something that you were talking about in the first episode, Genia, how like everyone at your gym was like learning from each other, even like 4-year-old girl to like 40-year-old man, like just so much you can learn. Even from Daphne, right? So yeah,
honestly,
yeah,
her technique is flawless.
Yeah, seriously. It's on point. And like, I don't know why she's so hesitant in her fight, because
it's gonna come for everyone. It comes differently. And for instance, Dakota, our gym, it took her till, I don't know, her 6th, 7th fight to really come out and just demolish and destroy every single one of her fights. So,
which is so funny because she stings on her punch, which is a good thing. But like,
but I hate it.
Yeah, of all people, like
when we're taking it on the other end. No, she's a powerhouse. And again, it took her some time, and as she develops into senior elite, it's going to take another, you know, step, another bit of hurdle for her, but it'll come slowly. So
I think it's cool to see that like everyone, no matter where they're at, has something that they want to work on, and something constantly that like hurdle that they're overcoming. And it's like, because for a long time too, when I first started, I was like separating, okay, I'm here and everybody else is amazing and doing amazing things over there, and I was like, now I'm trying to like merge the two, like I can do it too and they're doing things, and like we can all do things together. Just like not just because I'm starting or a novice or whatever doesn't mean I can't contribute to things. So
exactly. For me, it's always been like any gym that I enter, I'm like, I need to be top dog. I need to be the best. Honestly. And when I first came to TNT, there was so many people like way ahead of me, and I was like, this is not okay. So climb that ladder, and the same thing for you. Climb that ladder and you'll get there. And be persistent, keep showing up. Right. So
I mean, already just the first time coming and sparring in a new gym, I probably spent like 15 minutes in the parking lot just being like, can I actually like do this? Like, can I, what is gonna, and then I just was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go in there. I'm just gonna show up. No expectation. And I just showed up and I had a good time, right? So
there you go.
So if I'm ever in the parking lot, that's what I'm doing.
Or in the change room too long.
Hey, we're talking in there, okay? Gossiping, like some real great intellectual conversations happening. So
my bad.
Not just hyping myself up. I mean, you caught me, but
How do you juggle like your training with just other aspects of life, whether it's like a job or school? I'm not sure if your personal situation, but how, like when you're doing that level of training, how do you juggle it all?
So I'm really lucky. My husband is also my coach, our coach, and he works full time. He's a personal trainer and a boxing coach. So he 100% financially supports me. So I train when I do, like I'm getting ready for competition stuff, mostly 3 to 4 times a day. So there's nothing really else that I do. That is my job. So it's really easy for me. Like I get up, I do my run, I go to my strength work, I do my boxing, I do my sparring, and in between I'm just resting, which is nice. At times I do run like boot camp classes, and typically they run for like 6 weeks at a time, twice a week for an hour, so not like a ton of work. And then sometimes I do a couple personal trainings on the side as well. So when I do work, it might be, I don't know, 5 hours a week type thing. So for me, my job solely is full-time training, and it's because that end goal is the Olympics or whatever it is. My husband says, like, you know, I want 100% focus on that. I tried juggling both school and training, and it just didn't work. Like I'd be getting ready for exams and stuff, and Stevie would be like, well, you're fighting Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And I was like, man, I have to study. And he's like, well, too bad, because I got you fighting. Oh my God, I'm going to fail. So I ended up withdrawing because I didn't want to fail my classes. So I've done 2 or 3 years of my undergrad, and I just need to go back and finish another, I think, 5, 6 courses maybe. And then I'll finish with my human kinetics degree. But for now, I'm just focusing on the boxing.
Do that, because you're kicking ass. So
and I'm just like in a really lucky spot that I can do that, and that my husband can support me. So
that's awesome.
Really nice.
And school will always be there. It's not going anywhere.
Exactly. Boxing's not always going to be there. I'm not always going to be young. I won't be able to do this at 50. So.
Well, I mean, debatable. We were talking about this as well. How you know, athleticism can de-age you, but maybe
like,
not to.
In terms of like amateur boxing, you can only fight Olympics wise till the age of 39. So after that, it's gone out the window. I could do professional. I could do, you know, just club show bouts and stuff, but competitively to my degree, there's only a certain amount of time I have. And I don't love school, so it could be on.
I don't blame. We don't love school either, so talking to the right people. We both like just working for ourselves, figuring it out, and honestly, I mean, it was cool to like get that degree, that piece of paper, and to be like, I'm certified.
Just to be safe for whatever.
But am I in that industry right now? No. Am I like super happy that I was in school? No. Like I'm more of a tactile learner, so it's just if you can manage to get through it when you can, awesome. But if not, like who knows? Like your life is taking a different path, so you don't always need it.
Exactly.
I guess this one's like a little more personal for me. What would you suggest, or like what advice would you give to someone who's like prepping for their first fight?
Eat right, sleep right, train right. I like to write in a journal, and I do that religiously. Like even now, I do that. I love writing what I do throughout the day, how I feel, sparring wise after I finish, like what I worked on, or you know what the game plan was, and what went right, what went wrong, and communicate with your coach, communicate with your peers and how you feel throughout the whole thing. I have mental coaches that I go to as well, like sports psychologists, just to help me when I'm prepping for like my big competitions. Obviously rehab is super important. So those are pretty much the basics. And at the end of the day, if you don't feel right, don't do it. I guess. If you're just like to that point where it's like making you feel sick, and it's just like, is this worth it? Ask yourself, is this worth it? And that's why communication with your coach is important. If it's a fear of like, you know, the win or loss, take an exhibition, you know. So there's different ways to go about it, different ways to go about your first bout. So the communication is really key. So
yeah, I feel
and
like
at the end of the day, like if you're thinking about winning or losing or whatever,
yeah,
you're not going to die in there.
right.
We have certified referees, you know, like that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
The decision at the end, that would be like, well, whatever, worst case scenario, who cares, you know? Like it should be fun. Do it for the fun of it. That should be your biggest thing.
Yeah.
Are you having fun every day going to training? Are you having fun every day sparring, you know? So
yeah, I felt like for a long time, yeah, I think it just comes back to like the perfection aspect of me, where I was like, like, yeah, I will never be able to yet because like it's not perfect and there's so many things that I'm working on and that I need to like get to a specific point before I'd even be ready to. And then, you know, everyone else is just like, no, like I think you'd be fine, you know, I just think you need to try it. I'm like,
and like when you get into a fight, it's not gonna go well. Like for me, even now, I'm like, why did I do that? And why did I do that? And why do I look like that? And it's just like the way you practice, even in sparring, because it is so controlled, it's never gonna turn out like that in a fight. Right. It's gonna be a mashup of things, and it's just like it is what it is. You have to get in there. You have to keep trying. Yeah. And even like I said, 120 fights in, I'm still not getting the right hand to the body right. Or, you know, like it's like, why is this hand dropping? It's like, oh, it's like common little mistakes I'm still making, but it's normal. Yeah. And the only way you're gonna get better is to just keep getting back in there and competing and try again and again and again. It's never gonna be perfect. You're never gonna throw a perfect jab. You're never, you know, like you can try constantly in training and stuff and practicing it, but you can't like keep focusing like, oh, this has to come out like this, because it's not.
Yeah. Realistically, just it's not even an obtainable goal in a lifetime, let alone like in like preparation for something. So I tried switching more to like the mental part and like enjoying it, and that's where I'm like, I really would like to try that. So
it should be fun. It shouldn't be like a chore. I'm going to training to like, no, then it's not for you if that's how it is, right? Like you should love it.
Yeah. Something you look forward to.
Exactly.
Yeah. Any tips for like best meals in terms of like keeping or maintaining weight? Are there things that you like to stick to?
For me, so I've gone through a bunch of like tests where I see like, am I allergic to certain things? Because although it might not flare up on my skin or whatever, I feel like sometimes like your gut health, like you need to know, are you digesting things properly or not? So I went and saw Phenom Doc. He's in Burlington, super popular guy. And I found out that I am gluten-free, I am dairy-free, I have to be egg-free, which I had no idea, because I was having like egg white omelets every morning. And it's like, why? And I felt bloated every time I ate breakfast. I was like, why do I feel like, why do I look pregnant? And he's like, well, because you're not digesting those eggs, and it's the whites. And I was like, oh my God. As soon as I cut it out, I was like, wow, like I feel so much better. Exactly. So what I personally do is I love having meat in the morning. So like a beef burger with like an avocado. So you got your protein and your fats. Yeah. And then in terms of my carbs, I just do fruit, because I can digest that kind of stuff. So that's like what I wake up in the morning with is a beef burger, half an avocado, and some fruit. Nice. And then for lunch, I'll have like a massive salad with a piece of protein in there, whether it's fish or chicken or whatever.
Right.
And then nighttime, again, like 2-3 cups of vegetables with my meats. And I keep my carbs to a minimum. And if it is anything in there, it'll be like complex, like sweet potato. Right. So I stay away from like the starchy, like the rice, things like that.
Potatoes.
Or like potatoes. But I'm human. I eat that kind of stuff too. I let my, like, during this quarantine, I've been like a massive chef in the kitchen. Like, you know, Persian cuisine is my favorite. I've been brought up with that. So all these different stews and rices are a big dish. And, you know, basmati rice is my favorite. So
it's so good. It's definitely one of the best rice.
Oh my God, yeah. And potatoes and stuff. So I eat that kind of stuff too. But when I do stick to a regular diet or nutrition for like camps, that's the kind of stuff I like to do. And then in the lead up, like day before or day of a fight, I like to have like gluten-free oats in the morning with like a banana. I'll have a coffee, and then right before a fight, I will have like the brown rice, things like that, and throw in those carbs just because you need it for the fight, or like a peanut butter sandwich or whatever, right? So yeah, even though my body doesn't break it down great, it gives me the energy I need. So I just have that.
Yeah. Well, it's because I was getting advice before on weight loss and like cutting weight, and a lot of it was like cut out the carbs completely. You can never eat carb again. And it's just like not realistic, because I find that that's like the main source of energy. So if I don't have that and I'm going training twice a day, there's no way that I'm going to be fit enough or have enough motivation without like at least having a little bit of carbs. So I'm like, sorry, but like it's not possible for me.
And I like to stick with the fruits because they give you quick energy. So that's always good. And then even like I like having Cliff Bars like right an hour before the fight or whatever. So or if it's sparring, then I'll have that, right? You get right to your blood sugar levels spiked up nice and high and get you nice and energetic. So I love smoothies. Like that's big into smoothies. So like even the smoothie bowls where you're like actually feel like eating it. Like, instead of like drinking it, I'm like spooning it out, and it's like, oh, I'm eating something really good. So top it off with whatever toppings you want, granola, whatever. And I really like doing that kind of stuff too. So
those are intense too.
They're so yummy, and they're fun to make.
Really? Yeah. Maybe it's just like a laziness part, but I've never been like into cooking, and it's just really intimidating for me to be like make something like that.
I'm the opposite. I love being in the kitchen like 24/7. So
something fun for you.
And it's more, I like the cooking versus like the baking. I'm not great at baking, so I'm just like
I can do baking.
Cooking. Oh, okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, then I'll make the dinner, you make the dessert.
All right. Sounds good. Actually, there's a really great recipe that I found. It's avocado chocolate. Literally super simple. You take like dark chocolate, you melt it up, and you put an avocado, you mush it like as soon as it's ripe, put them together, and it's so creamy. Like
it's like a mousse, right? Yeah.
It's so good.
There's like avocado brownies that you can make, like flourless and stuff, and that's really good too.
And I had no idea. I just discovered this. I'm like, so yummy. And it's less like guilty because it's you know.
Oh, I'm a big foodie, so I'm always like finding recipes that I can like make and have and not feel guilty about it.
Yeah. I know I need to work more on the vegetables for sure.
Yeah. Oh, really? I love my veg.
Really? Maybe it's just how you cook it, right? It's like
or even just like I love massive salads, like just a big bowl of crunchy deliciousness.
Are you from another planet? Like, I was with you on the breakfast part and the protein parts, and then the salad. I'm like, anyone who's ever had a salad definitely has said that. Yeah.
But that's the kind of food I like to have.
I have a super random question. It's about hair. So how do you deal with your hair? Like, how do you prefer it to be, especially with what do you call them? The things, the headgear. It's supposed to be silky,
Okay.
right? So,
Yeah.
and I personally have a lot of hair, so.
Yeah. What I like to do is put it down in a ponytail and then wrap a bun around like the hair tie.
Okay.
And then, so that stays in, and I tie it with a bunch of elastics. And then what I have been doing for literally 7 years is taping it with hockey tape.
Taping.
I tape.
Damn.
And like, I've taught so many girls to do this, and they're all doing it now, because if your hair comes out, like, the referee will be like, okay, go to your coach, get it fixed. Happens again, go to your coach, get it fixed. Happens again. And then they take a point away. So I saw that happen in a tournament once where a girl got 2 points taken away. And I was like, she can lose the fight right now. Like, right now, it's
just
in like
because of her hair.
Just because of her hair. She ended up winning on a split, like just barely. She was winning, she was dominating. But because of those 2 points, I was like, holy smokes. After I saw that, I was like, I'm going to tape my hair from now on. So that's what I do. And like all the TNT girls do it. Stevie does it with everyone. We always have tape.
That's
no
awesome.
messing around. And like, he's awful with hair. Like, having a man as your coach is terrible, because they don't know what to do. They don't know how to deal with the hair
That's
elastic.
what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've tried to teach him. He just, God help us when we have a daughter. So
yeah.
But yeah, the tape method. I could see him doing it to our daughter, taking her to school.
Oh, quick and easy. There you go.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what I do. I just put it low, and even in training, I do the same sort of thing where I have it down and I wrap it in just like a small little bun. Or at times I like having it nice and high. But the thing is, when I have it high and I'm rolling, Stevie always hits.
It always
hits the bun. So it's like I'm rolling low enough, but it's my bun.
But it doesn't
that's
feel like it. Yeah.
So I have to bend my legs even more. I have to work even harder now.
Yeah.
So it's like, nope, I got to put it down lower.
Yeah, I know.
So yeah, that's what I do. And then like at times I'll have like a couple braids in as well, so that it doesn't come out the front.
Yeah.
I'm not good with hair at all. I wish I could do French braids and stuff.
Yeah.
Never been able to. For my big tournaments, I've done like cornrows, and I like that. But it's just like not healthy for your hair. So
yeah.
And I can't be paying $50 every time to get it done, and it only lasts like a week. So
oh geez, no, of course not.
Yeah, no thanks. Maybe when I'm professional and I have to have the look, but
yeah,
for like us where we like tournament, you fight every day. I like to like actually wash my hair and stuff too. So I just do it myself.
By all means, yeah. And I think like as long as that's my thing, is like keeping it out of my face. It just seems to want to do whatever it wants all the time. So
and like the big headbands, I really like the ones from like Lululemon, like they stay on my head.
Yeah.
So
because if it's like super small, it always slips off. So
exactly. I've tried like literally everything, and the big Lululemon ones help. So sponsorship, please.
Hey, you never know. Would be a good partnership, I think. So
headbands for everyone.
Yes. And money's for you. Is there like any changes within how the sport is run, or like organizations that you'd like to see happen, or like is it kind of like
do you mean just amateur to pro, or how do you mean?
Within AIBA, or however that organization is, because I've heard there's a really confusing ranking system, and sometimes their points don't always make sense, and it's like people who like they consider the top are like getting beaten out so quickly. And at least in the London Olympics, like I'm catching up on the ones on YouTube, and a lot of the people that are like seeded or whatever, they're getting kicked out like in the first round. So it's just like interesting to hear what the commentators have to say, right?
The politics with all that, AIBA, any of the sanctions, I'm so bad at, and I just try to it's not that I'm bad at it. I try to ignore it,
Yeah.
because it really, I think, gets to the fighters and
Yeah.
like all the athletes. So like Stevie knows all the ins and outs and everything, but for me, like I try to block all that stuff out. And I know that even for myself, so I was ranked at one point number 10 in the world at 54 kilos, so 119 pounds. And then I switched my weight class, so I won at 51, so I went down. And for 2 years I fought at 51 kilos, or a year and a half or whatever. All my points I was still getting at 54. They didn't switch me over, and it was because that number one Canadian before me, I won't mention names or whatever, they wanted her to keep her spot and keep all her points. So mine never transferred over to that weight class. So I'm still at this 54 kilo rank. She's still ahead of me, whatever. And when it comes down to it, it looks better in the books for her.
Right.
So it's just all
But
frustrating.
isn't necessarily fair though.
No, and like I haven't fought at 54 in I don't even know how long internationally. And why am I still ranked at that weight class? Why am I, like every tournament I go to, why am I getting my points there? It's just like makes
like
no
still
sense.
to
And
this
like
day?
yeah.
Wow.
And yeah, and when it comes to like seeding then for tournaments, I'm not seeded because I haven't been getting my points at that weight class. Like it just makes no sense.
Yeah, exactly.
So
okay.
So yeah, Ollie's being annoying.
Oh, buddy.
Wants his mom.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I honestly I try just to fight, do my part, and forget the politics. That's like
I think
I'm
that's
fighting for
like
Ireland now, like
yeah.
so,
Which is
because
so
of
cool.
all the nonsense. Yeah.
Oh.
Lucky I get to do that.
It's unfortunate that like it came to that, you know what I mean? But it's a cool like outcome, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm lucky I have that option.
Yeah. Something that's really like well, it's stupid and like interesting is just how everything like works together, and it's more I feel like an image thing than anything else. And yeah, sometimes these decisions like just listening to like what the two guys who are just like giving suggestions had to say, and I'm like, this doesn't make any sense, but that's just me. I haven't even started yet, but yeah, I'm just like, that must be a lot of math or that they're getting confused. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's cool though, that you're switching national teams then, and you're going to go over there. Wait, are you going to be training at TNT still?
Yeah, actually, they're really cool that way, where they invite me over for camps, and I'm there for whatever it is, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, whatever it is, and then you go back home, you train with your own coach, and then whenever you get the call, you go back. So
nice.
They've told me, bring your personal coach so that he sees how we're training here, so that you can implement it at your own gym, which is really nice because in Canada, not once have they told us we can do that. Our coaches aren't even allowed in the gym near us, even though we train with our personal coaches year round.
That doesn't make any sense.
They try to take over, and
that's brutal.
That's why we're not successful, right? We're not successful internationally because of that. So the system just doesn't work, and I was tired of the system. Stevie's tired of the system, so we're just like, you know what? We'll go fight for Ireland. I love Canada. I wish I could compete for Canada, but not right now.
Well, that was my feeling, was like, it just seemed weird to me to like constantly train with someone, build a rapport with someone for years and years. And then all of a sudden, when it comes to like the most crucial points of like you needing that person or their advice, you're now with a different person, or like the team can't, I'm sure they're amazing coaches, whatever, but it's still like being able to build that relationship with someone is like so important, and it kind of relaxes you a little bit in a way, like they got my back, they know like I know how to do this. It's cool. Just like, I don't know, it's weird that they make you do that. It's just really weird.
And it's even weirder when they don't speak English in your corner. It's like
What?
they're either speaking French or they're speaking Spanish, and it's like I don't speak either of those languages. I speak English, and we're in Canada. It should be bilingual, and it's not.
Yeah.
So that was the worst part of it. So
Oh my
like
God.
with Ireland, the coaches are great. Like they're exactly like how Stevie coaches me. So that's why I
Yeah.
think it'll really work out.
Yeah.
Very similar.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
it's kind of disappointing, honestly. It's more a systemic thing than superstar.
He's making an appearance.
Yes. I was so hoping he would. Oh, he looks so good. Hi. What's he wearing?
He's wearing a little collar, M&M collar.
Oh, so styling.
Nice.
Oh.
Cute.
He's my child.
Yes.
Yeah.
Deservedly so. Yeah. Aw.
But yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering about like the coaching tier system, because it seemed like you would leave all of your support stuff at home and then you would like just get a whole new set. And it seems very like when you're in the midst of like all this stress and tension, all of a sudden you have to like switch like who you're relying on or like who's giving you water, and it's like it's not an easy thing to ask of people.
No, and it's like you have 1 minute in between rounds. You want that one minute so valuable, and you want to make sure like you're getting the most out of it. And it's like half the time I'm fighting with the coach telling him, I don't want you to take my mouthpiece out. I like my mouthpiece in, or like, give me the stool. I need the stool, like that minute should be about just advice, what to do, what's the game plan.
You already know how your fighter likes to fight. Just, yeah.
Yeah, but it was like, no, stop putting a hand in my mouth. I want to keep my mouthpiece in. It was so silly. Like, I told you before the fight, and it's just like,
you're not
they don't remember. Yeah, they don't care, so
oh geez,
it's so bad.
Well, I feel like that was like a fear is just that, again, it's about them or like their job and not necessarily about you. It's not necessarily about like each fight, and like each fight it's kind of important, you learn something different, right? So yeah.
And tournament, like that's what advances you to the next day. So you get one shot, you don't get two shots at it, so yeah, a lot of the times it was like, I've lost the first round, I'm getting the hang of it by second round, I've won the third round, it's just like, now it's too late, I figured it out on my own. Like, thanks a lot, coaches.
Jeez, so useless.
Yeah, like boxing wouldn't exist if it wasn't for the boxers. It's like, no offense, but not about the coaches, we are the ones competing. Yes, you've helped us get there, all that, I completely get it. Like, at the end of the day, it's about the boxers.
Yeah.
So
you're not the one going in there, which maybe is like where their self-esteem is happening, and they're like glory days or something. But it's like sometimes you need to remember, like, it's more important to be a better teacher and like a better helper and known for that than to be like someone who's like missing their youth or whatever you want to call that. So just it shows so clearly too, which is the unfortunate thing. Yeah. And I mean, even you've had coaching experience too, right? Like with some of us at the gym, you've never treated us that way, so like you can
it's so different too. And it's like, I get the fighting part of it, but honestly, I find coaching harder personally.
Oh really?
Like, kudos to you, Stevie. Like, good for you. Like, you need so much patience and like all that. Like, you have to stay calm, and you can't show emotion, whereas a fighter, you can show all your emotion, whatever. But on the flip side, like, it is hard. Like, good for you, like all those coaches out there. Like, I do it here and there, sparring. Like, right now my whole thing is being the athlete as well. I like to help out, I like to see that side of things as well, and it does help my boxing to reiterate what I know. but it is a tough job. Like,
Yeah.
I don't downplay any of those coaches out there.
I mean, well,
and some do a better job of it than others.
Yes.
Like I say, Stevie with his patience and everything, and
yeah,
the amount of fighters he can like organize and control and communicate with is incredible.
At one
like,
time.
At one time, like the big classes we always have, and it's always like everyone knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
No.
No.
Just the amount of not even organization, but like coordination too.
Yeah. Always trying to get on
it's
the
the Ollie show. Yeah.
Ask about me.
Yeah. I'm important.
Gym mascot.
Yeah, he is now.
Yeah.
I mean, well, you're actually a really I find that as I've grown in boxing, you to be like a really good coach, because you're tough and you're like someone who kind of simulates sparring really well. And you give that like expectation of like, this is what's going to happen. And it's kind of like a walkthrough in a way. At first, in the beginning, I was like, oh my God, like I can't keep up. This is just so much. But now I'm like, I see what she's saying, right? So it's just like, it's another tactic, right? It's another way of going about things. It's not wrong. But now I really like it because it's so helpful. So
definitely. I find like, and Stevie says it too sometimes, where it's just like with like beginner, you can't do that. And I'm just like, I don't get that. I don't understand that just yet. It'll slowly come to me.
Yeah.
But I like to treat literally everyone the same, whether it's you, whether it's like any other girls or guys, like I treat them same throughout. So it's just like, it's tough for me to differentiate, but I'll get there with more experience.
Yeah. I think it's, again, patience comes with time, so they say. So, but no, honestly, the times that we've worked together, this is going to sound really mean. I was more sore after your sessions for sure than any other sessions. So,
but that's because I'm more of a drill sergeant. Stevie's more like technique. He'll teach you flawless technique and things. Like I don't know how to do that. That's why I've like come to him, obviously, because my technique has gotten better since I've come to him. But I know how to like work people. That's why I do the boot camps. That's what like there's difference.
In terms of like pacing and in terms of like rhythm, which is a really cool balance, because you can get the technique, but you can also get the pacing, right? And
and that's why like my method of training, you wouldn't want to do that 6 days a week because you wouldn't be able to walk.
No. I learned my last couple days in a row was enough for me. Thank you, girl.
And again, like whether it's you or this 250-pound man that I've trained before, you guys are all the same to me. So I need to learn that balance. It's just fun. And you guys all seem to enjoy it, so I'm like, it works.
Yes. Afterwards, I'm like, well, it definitely worked. I got results. So
there you go.
But
satisfaction guaranteed.
100% of the time. There you go. If you want to plug these, sessions or whatever, there you go. Speaks for itself.
There you go.
The coach now.
Yeah.
Did like coaching kind of come naturally just through the experience, or was it just something like part of your personality maybe, or?
I think I definitely like being a leader. Growing up, I was a swim instructor, lifeguard, all of that. So again, like leadership was a big thing in that. It's great money, so that's why I did it. But you're forced to, take a bunch of little kids and teach them how to swim, and that's so dangerous. You have our eyes on 20, 30 kids at a time when it's a camp or whatever. And so I think like leadership has always been in me. And I have 3 other siblings, so I was always like the mother of the group, and so just I like being a leader versus a follower. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I
Definitely.
like to speak up. I feel like I'm loud, and it's like I'm not even trying to be loud. I just am. I project my voice really well. So yeah, and I have the best mentor being Stevie. So
yeah.
yeah.
Well, it's not even like necessarily being loud. It's just presentation, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah,
How you hold
exactly.
yourself.
Yeah.
Not a bad thing.
And even that, like, I get nervous doing my boot camp classes and stuff too, but it's just something you get over, and like it goes away quickly. And it's like, it's fun nerves. It's good nerves.
Yeah. Exciting.
Yeah. Like exciting, like that a new group has come in. They're relying on me to help them. So it's like, all right, let's get going, ladies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which I wanted to do that, but then I was like, it was like 6 a.m. or something crazy like that. I'm like, you guys,
You
what
love
are you
it.
doing?
Hey,
I
you go
know,
home
but
happy. Yeah.
with you and Carolyn, like, oh
I
my
know.
God. But yeah.
She's the nice one.
Yeah, good cop, bad cop.
I'm like 10 more. She's like, oh, if you just do 5 more, it's okay. I'm like, no.
5. Nope, you're doing 10. Good balance. I can see that.
Someday you'll do it.
The boot camp at 6 a.m.
I'm sure you will.
Lord.
Do a one-off. Not once.
That's
what I always tell people. Just come once, and then they're like, wow, I loved it.
Yeah, but you say that, and then I'm gonna come every other time. And I'm just gonna be at the gym 24 hours. Like, I'm never gonna leave. So we say this, but do we know the repercussions? Yeah, I know. I was like, I was really on the fence about it. I'm like, I kind of regret not doing it. Yeah, it was the 6 a.m. I'm like, guys, why 6? Why?
Hopefully in the future I could do like more, and then maybe some in the evening as well. But right now with Corona, we don't know.
Right.
What's gonna happen, when we're gonna start.
Because like they're opening things back up, but it seems like really you still have to be like really far apart, which wouldn't be an issue if like the police weren't so hard ass about things. Like I've heard people giving out tickets and stuff, and you don't want, like, I think it can go up to like $100,000 fine and things. So yeah,
we'll see. Where's your pet, Genia?
I don't have one.
Oh no, we need to get you one.
Yeah.
Where's your bird?
Yeah. Or even, you were thinking of getting another dog too, right? All your little brother.
One.
Yeah.
I wanted a miniature Labradoodle, but they're $2,700.
Okay, it's not too
and
bad.
It's just like, but Ollie was $600.
Oh really? Damn.
I got it from a pet store.
Oh, he looks like a purebred though.
I know, and he turned out awesome.
That's why I was like surprised.
Yeah, he's a Maltese Shih Tzu.
He genuinely looks like something you would pay top money for. So
I know, and like when I went to the pet store, all the dogs kind of looked ill, but he was the only one that looked. That pet store doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, is this in
But they
Guelph?
handed me this. No, Cambridge.
Okay.
They handed me this dog that like wasn't really moving. I was like, this guy, like, what the heck? Can you give me that one that's like doing literally loop-de-loop? Like, he's crazy.
Yeah.
And I was like, I need that guy.
Yeah.
So now he's like 4.5 and he's fine. So they said like after 2 years, if your dog's got no sicknesses or anything, then you're in the clear. So
nice.
I'm in the clear and I saved the dog.
Yeah. Jeez, what were they doing to those dogs that they weren't moving?
I don't know.
I've never really seen that before.
Yeah.
Is it even alive? Like,
yeah, I was like, it was shut down after a month of getting Ollie because I went back and I was like, oh, it doesn't even exist anymore. So yeah. But I lucked out.
Yeah, definitely.
He's perfect.
Yeah.
And it was cheap.
Right. Can't get better than that. And he doesn't look cheap, that sounds bad.
I know. Actually, Stevie was walking Ollie, and someone offered him $6,000 to buy Ollie, and he had
for like
he was
shows,
just like,
I guess.
I don't know. He was like, my wife would love this dog. Like, can I buy it off of you? Come, sir. I'll take you to the bank right now. And I was away for boxing for trip.
Oh, yeah.
And Ollie wasn't even a year old. And he's like, if my wife finds out, she will kill me. Like, actually kill me.
Yeah.
But like the profit Stevie would have made.
Right? 10 times what you guys paid for.
Yeah.
Like we can buy 10 Ollies, Sarah.
I know. He's like, had the guy offered me $10,000, I probably would have sold him.
Right?
Would have killed you.
Well, I mean, I've seen him interact with Ollie at the gym, and he's mean to Ollie. Like, he's savage. So
He is.
Jeez.
Poor buddy.
Poor
That's why
guy.
I'm the favorite.
Yeah.
You know.
All you need
Apparently
is
Ollie needs tough love. But yeah, when I came to Guelph, I was I know. I was like, I'm so lonely. All I do is train, and I come home and there's no one home. Like, Stevie's working all day. Like, I need something. I need someone. It's like, I'll get a dog. So so I got Ollie, and like Cuddles. It's nice that our gym is dog friendly. So
yes,
and he doesn't shed anyway. So
it's just perfect.
Works out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's perfect size for the gym anyways. So
yeah,
he's not like too big. Like Baloo is 90 pounds, so it just makes you think twice.
Yeah. And he's just so friendly with everyone too, so
yeah. If anything, it's like it's hard to say no to him because it's just like he's so cute and he's just like, please pet me.
Yeah.
I deserve to be loved.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A little off topic. We're talking about Ollie.
I mean, we bring him to the gym. It's fine. Like, it's associated.
Yeah.
I mean, I've asked what I kind of wanted to ask. Is there anything you want to add? Or Genia, do you want to add anything?
I think I know you mentioned like how you love cooking and boxing and all that kind of stuff. I'm just wondering like what other kind of like hobbies or what is something that you're like super obsessed with right now, I guess.
What do I love doing? Oh, so I've made, during this quarantine, I've made a goal for myself. Every Saturday I run 20 kilometers or over 20 kilometers. So that's like something I'm obsessed with right now.
Cool.
Bought new runners. I want to get a tracker. I don't know why, but like I'm falling in love with running, which is weird. I never liked it before.
Yeah.
So, what else do I like doing? Shopping usually, but right now you can't do that. Can't do any retail therapy, and I don't like online shopping because I actually like going in store and trying things on and touching things and feeling things.
Yeah.
But aside from that, pretty simple. I take my dog on a walk a lot. Yeah, nothing crazy. I love sports, so I'm like whatever live sports are on, like UFC right now. Oh, stop! Is on right now. I watch that. But otherwise, yeah, that's my biggest things are love the kitchen, love boxing.
Yeah.
I'd love to be on like one of those cooking shows, like the competitions with like the stars,
like Gordon Ramsay and stuff, yelling at you. You'd be perfect for that. You'd yell right back.
Or I'd like the like baking ones, maybe where they're a little bit nicer, not Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah, little less intense.
He's raw. Yeah, he's mean. I don't know how I'd do with that. I'm the mean one.
Yeah,
I'd be mean to
Tables
me.
are turned, okay, buddy. I don't think so. This is how we're gonna run this kitchen.
Ollie needs to go out again.
Oh, poor guy.
I think we have the last 8 minutes left, so I think the last thing I would want to ask is like, where can people follow you? Like, do you have any social media? Like, how can we keep up with your boxing? And
Yeah,
out
I think
about that.
biggest thing would be Instagram for me. It's just Sara Boxer 101, and the Boxer, the E is a 3, so Boxer 101. And then I do have Facebook, but that's not huge. I mean, I do add people as well. My biggest is definitely Instagram though.
Yeah.
So I think I have a couple videos on YouTube. I don't love having the YouTube videos on with my fights because although I adapt with every fight, still don't like people studying me. So but yeah, Instagram. So definitely give me a follow there.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Definitely do it because she's amazing, talented, deserves all the love, all the monies, all the support. And yeah, hopefully this helps a little bit.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I hope quarantine is over with soon enough so that we can all get back to our regular lives and see you at the gym. And
I know. Popping back in there for like 2-3 times again. It felt like I was crazy, but I don't know, I enjoyed it. It was nice.
Yeah I don't think anyone will ever like complain again about, you know, being busy or, you know, we all just want to go back to that.
I'm a little sad too because we filed my papers with Boxing Ontario. We got my book and everything's settled, and so we were like getting me into hard sparring and like just like building up to like the first fight, you know, the escalation, and then boom, just got cut off. And I'm like,
I know a lot of my friends were like, oh, I just got my medicals in, it was gonna happen. I was like, I know. And now it's like, when are things gonna go again? Like, especially fight wise, I don't know. Sure, gyms are gonna open, but what about like us, like in combat? So it's gonna be weird, but let's all just stay hopeful and have faith that it'll return back to normal.
In some capacity.
Exactly.
All in good time.
You have to have patience.
Anyways, thank you. Thank you so much for being here. I was so nervous because I'm like, she's so cool, but thank you for agreeing to this and spending so much time with us. So
thank you. Anytime.
It was awesome getting to meet you, and I hope I get to see you fight one day.
Hopefully.
Wait, I think maybe I think it was just me that saw that fight. I thought you were there too. I think you've seen Sara fight.
I did. Was that the one I came to?
We flew, because she flew in the girl from Haiti, I think it was. And it's the last fight. Yes, we saw it. Yes.
Now I know who you are. Now I know the thing.
Yes, you saw her.
That was
She kicked ass. Oh, we were like, damn, like, this is just like, girl not gonna talk to us. No way. Like,
ridiculous. All right.
Awesome. All right, thank you.
We'll let Ollie get his mom back. So, sorry, Ollie. Apologies. See you.
Have a good day. Bye. Thank you.
Hey everybody, I'm Genia.
I'm Abigail Dube.
And you're listening to Knockout Origins.